Yes, fight fans, body and mind sports, welcome. You are fully appreciated if you are here for another session of boxing talk, my people. And in this round, my guys, my people, of course, I'm talking about October the 12th, the big fight coming up between Atur Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol, my guys. And on that night, Dimitri Bivol and Atur Beterbiev, of course, fighting for the undisputed light heavyweight championship title, my guys. And also on that fight card is gonna be a very stacked fight card. It is of course a Riyadh season fight card, and the fight itself, the whole card will be taking place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, my people. So that being said though, I might as well let you know that scheduled for this fight card was Shakur Stevenson and Joe Cordina, in a fight where Shakur Stevenson was to be defending his WBC lightweight title. However, that fight is no longer on the card as Shakur Stevenson withdrew from the fight due to a hand injury. I was actually looking forward to watch Shakur Stevenson and his showcase of brilliance and skill. And you know, after going through much criticism for not being very offensive minded, I was actually looking forward to what he might do in this fight, to tell you the truth, versus Joe Cordina. Well, with that said, however, I think let's just make haste and move ahead, because not only do I want to talk about the main event and the other fights on the fight card, but I also want to give you my prediction at the end of talking about each fight. So let's just make haste and move ahead, my people. I'm going to start with the main event, the undisputed title fight, the undisputed light heavyweight title fight, of course, Atur Beterbiev versus Dimitri Bivol. So coming into this fight, the person with most of the titles is of course Atur Beterbiev, and he is in possession of the WBO, the WBC, and the IBF titles. Coming in with the WBA title is Dimitri Bivol. Their fight records: Atur Beterbiev, 20 fights, 20 KOs, guys. So a perfect record there. No other record in boxing right now that can actually compare. He's actually got the best 100% knockout ratio. Bivol on the other side has 23 fights, 12 KOs, 0 losses. So he is undefeated as well and has no draws. But despite Dimitri Bivol's knockout ratio, only 12 KOs out of 23 fights, trust me, don't think that this man does not have power. He's just more of a boxer and a mover. That's it. It does not actually go looking for a KO, guys. He's a more of a safety first type of fighter. That's what I see when I look at his fighting style. But before we talk any more about that, I think it's important to look at what is very glaring in this fight. You know, there are a few things that are very glaring. One of those things is that here in this fight we've got a puncher versus a boxer. A power puncher. I think just calling him a puncher is not even very descriptive enough to tell you just how much power this man possesses in Beterbiev. He's a puncher, a power. When I say power, I mean power puncher. Yeah, big power puncher versus a boxer, guys, that has respectable power. And again, another thing that is glaring is, of course, the age, my people. Beterbiev now is 39 years old, so he is at retirement age at this point. Most fighters his age have retired already. However, he is still fit as a fiddle. He fights like a well-oiled, well-serviced machine. It works really hard, and I think that's what keeps him going on his training regime. He's very, very also physically strong and durable. On the other side, though, we have Bivol, who is 33 years old. So there's a 6-year age gap. Very, very significant amount there in the difference in their age. But can Bivol actually use that to his advantage versus a very strong, durable fighter in Beterbiev? But one thing I must say though is that despite Beterbiev's durability, despite his strength, he has actually been dropped before. But the low point about it, the time that he got dropped, yeah, well, is that, or should I say, the point to highlight is that when he got dropped, he actually got up to finish his opponent. He actually got dropped in his fight versus Alexander Wardley. You know, another very good, powerful operator in the division. But I believe if if Bivol, yeah, can use his youth and impose his youth on Beterbiev, I think he will have very, very major effect on him, because Beterbiev, I have seen him get tired numerous times in fights, especially even in that in his fight with Anthony Yarde. I was very, very surprised on how much of an effect Anthony Yarde's punches were actually having on Beterbiev. And I think just before Yarde got KO'd, and he got KO'd due to a mistake anyway. I mean, because he's been taking a lot more punishments in the earlier rounds. You know, he was taking punishment, I'll say, from even 5th round, 6th round. He was being cornered into a phone booth and was just getting hit with a barrage of punches. But and he was able to survive those. But the 8th round where he actually got KO'd was actually due to a mistake where he did that Anthony Joshua mistake where he tried to throw an uppercut from way out and then got caught. And that was his mistake. He got countered with a right, and that's how he got stopped in that fight. But I believe, like I said, his punches were having effect on Beterbiev. I saw him getting tired, guys, and I believe that if Bivol can push him, yeah, he can tire out Beterbiev. Most definitely can tire him out, especially now that he's 39 years old, damn near 40. You know, damn near 40 in boxing. That is Zimmer frame time, guys. So yeah, and despite his durability also, but one thing though, Beterbiev has a great chin, guys. Despite the fact that he's being dropped, he has a great chin. And do you know what? Yeah, he has a lot of faith on his chin. A lot of faith on his chin. So much so that he takes a lot more risks in order to get the stoppages that he gets in his fights. And I don't know whether that would be a good idea against a fighter like Bivol though. Because like I said, Bivol, despite the fact that he's only got 12 KOs, the man can actually bang, you know. And we saw that in his last fight versus what's the geezer's name again? Versus Zenad. yeah, if when the last fight versus Zenad, yeah, he actually he actually stopped Zenad, but that was because he was coming forward a lot of the time, looking for. You can tell that he was looking for the KO in that fight. He literally wanted to stop Zenad. You know, I mean, in his previous fight versus Lyndon Arthur, Beterbiev didn't put his foot on the gas enough. He just wanted to get the win. That's what I thought. You know, yeah, but if he's able to push back Beterbiev and put him on a back foot, Beterbiev is in trouble, my guys, because Beterbiev is not very good fighting off the back foot unless he is on the ropes, you know, so he cannot fight stepping backwards. If he's on the ropes, he can set you up, he can counter punch. He's very good at that. We saw him get pushed to the ropes via by Joe Smith, and that worked out in Beterbiev's favor, because Beterbiev, one thing about him, he does not panic in stressful situations, and he's got great focus and awareness in those situations where you can still do well to evade punches, guys. And in that situation there with Joe Smith backed him up to the ropes, threw a right hand, I believe, in which Beterbiev made him miss, and then countered with a right hand of his own to the top of Joe Smith's head, and that's how he got the stoppage in that fight. But yeah, if Beterbiev can, if Bivol can back up Beterbiev even to the ropes, but don't trade with hooks, guys, because that was the exact punch that Joe Smith threw, you know, that got him in trouble. Don't trade with hooks, because Beterbiev is the hook master. He is better off employing the same strategy that he did with Canelo, where he kept his punches long. He kept them long, but he kept them coming very fast and was punching in bunches. So a lot of volume is what is needed to really deter Beterbiev from coming forward. Also, another strategy he could use is to just move around, box, and tire out the old legs of Beterbiev, and just test his will. Test his will, guys. I mean, his will has been tested in the past. Like I said, this fight, well, I've not said it, but you see, this fight is not only just about a puncher versus a boxer, but it's also a test of wills, guys. I mean, Beterbiev has amazing will, man, to keep pushing, keep driving forward, and that's possibly another reason why he's able to still be performing at the age that he is now. Bivol, on the other hand, his will has not really been tested so much yet. He's more of a 12 round fighter. He does not get himself into too many wars. He uses his smarts more, his boxing IQ and his skills. But although when he does decide to push the pace, we know that he's got KO power, guys. So this is a very interesting one, to tell you the truth. You know, again, we got Beterbiev on one side, who is gets into more firefights than Bivol. He takes more risks in order to get what he wants. He does not wait for the referee to decide for him what the outcome of his fight is going to be. So his whole game is to get you out of there. And then we got Beterbiev, yeah, where, because he relies mostly on his defense and his IQ just to outsmart you, he's more being in 12 round fights. So we know he has a great gas engine, guys. He's got a great tank, and he's proven time and time again that he can go 12 rounds time and time again, while being pushed also. But he does very well. Like I said, he uses more of his boxing IQ and skills and ability, where Beterbiev is trying to get you out there, out of the ring like a wrecking ball, as to say. Again, speed, I got Bivol. I got Bivol on speed as well. Definitely got Bivol on speed. The power obviously is gonna be Beterbiev's, and athleticism. Who's got the better footwork? Bivol's got the better footwork. Athleticism, also speed drops into there as well. However, Beterbiev is the stronger, more physical fighter, I believe. But this is a very weird one, guys. They stack up pretty evenly, although they got different although they're strong in different areas, they still stack up pretty easily, and it's not gonna be an easy fight for either man. But I think the youth of well, it's not that young, 33, but at the same time the age gap is very considerable, and it's very considerably large, to tell you the truth. And I think that would play a major part in this, because like I said, if Bivol can tire out Beterbiev, it's over for Beterbiev. And I see more reason for Bivol to come out victorious in this fight than Beterbiev, to tell you the truth. So my final prediction on that fight, I think I'm going to say Bivol wins via unanimous decision. And yeah, that's how I see it. But moving on to the next fight, we have Liam Cameron versus Whittaker. Liam Cameron is 33 years old, has 23 wins, 10 of those wins coming via KO, and 6 losses, my guys. He's only had 3 12-round fights, so he's more or less, I mean, despite that he's had 23 fights, he's only had 3 12-round fights. So but compared to Whittaker on the other side, again, he's only had 8 fights and 5 KOs. So not a lot of power there either. He does you know, have a very flamboyant style where he likes to play around in the ring and show off, you know, just piss off his opponents basically, and just a very show-offy style. And it depends on what you really like. Some people like it, some people don't. Me, I really don't mind it, but I believe that when it starts facing more competitive fighters that are more matched to his ability, then what would he do then? We will need to find a different strategy to win fights, because 5 KOs out of 8 wins, it's not really that great, is it? But I've never really seen him sit down too much on his punches either. He spends most of the rounds just messing about. He is 27 years old though, so considerably younger than Liam Cameron, who is no longer in his prime. Whittaker is still very much a prospect, but Cameron doesn't seem to be that much experienced either, even with 23 fights. Like I said, he's never really fought anybody notable, and he's got 6 losses on his record, guys. So I expect Whittaker to treat him like any other previous fighter that he's fought. It's just gonna be just another game, guy, another PlayStation for him, you know. And I expect him not to win by KO, but via unanimous decision. But he does have respectable power, guys. Don't get it twisted. The boy does have power, Whittaker, but it's because he does not sit down on his punches. Like I said, just messes around too much. If he does sit down on his punches, he gets Liam Cameron out of there, because you cannot doubt Whittaker's ability, guys. That's one thing you cannot doubt is his ability, his skill, his versatility, ring IQ, and whatnot. And he's still learning. Only 8 fights, still a prospect. And yeah. But I believe this fight though is a 10 round fight. Is it not? I think so. I think it's a 10 round fight. So yeah, I don't think this is a 12 round fight. Maybe I'm wrong. But either way, Whittaker wins. He wins. He wins via unanimous decision. But if he sits down on his punches, he takes it. I'll say around 7, 8 rounds. He takes it, gets Liam out of there. But for now, I'm gonna keep my prediction at a unanimous decision for Whittaker, guys. The next fight though we also have Eubank versus Kamil Szeremeta, and that's for the IBO title at middleweight, guys. Eubank is now age 35. In fact, both fighters are age 35. Eubanks has 33 wins, 24 of those wins coming via KO, 3 losses and 0 draws. All his losses have all come when he's tried to step up in the quality of his opponents. I mean, he's had his loss of Liam Smith previously, his most recent loss. Well, but he did avenge that loss to his credit in the same year of 2023. Yeah, it did avenge that loss, via KO. And he lost to Liam via KO too, so they're even there. But since that loss, he's been out of the ring for over a year. Been out of the ring for over a year, guys, and I don't know why he took that much time off. His other losses came at the hand of George Groves and Billy Joe Saunders. So those were he lost via decision, because Eubank himself does have a granite chin, and I don't know whether I can give that KO loss that he had against Liam Smith to Liam Smith though, because when you watch the replay in slow motion of that punch, it actually was not a punch at all. It looked more like an elbow. So Eubank got UFC'd in that fight. He got UFC'd, and that is how he got KO'd. And yeah, but he needs to step up in opponents. He needs to really step up, because Kamil Szeremeta is really not done anything with his career. He's had 25 fights, 2 losses, also has 2 draws. Out of his 25 fights, 8 KOs, and his 2 losses actually came via KO also. So his chin is not that great either, even though he's a very tough, aggressive fighter, very tough and aggressive. He doesn't have that much power himself though, not great power. Eubank has decent power if he knows how to punch and be accurate, but most of the time hardly. I mean, he's not very accurate, Eubank, to tell you the truth. He's not a great fighter, but he's a great name, and he makes his fights entertaining. He has a big name. He has a big name, and he is a money spinner. So I guess that's why people like watching him. That's why people like spending on him, because he is an entertainer. At the end of the day, he comes in there to fight, and when he fights, he wants to KO you and do damage. But Kamil Szeremeta, man, is not the man to be matching up with at this moment. Kamil Szeremeta was beat by Triple G, yeah, a 39-year-old Triple G, guys. He was beat by Triple G, got KO'd in the 7th round, and again got beat by Hyman Munguia, who is not really that experienced either. It's only of late that it's actually getting to fighting people that have been in world title fights. For example, Canelo Alvarez. So yeah, he's only recently started fighting champions. Hyman Munguia, and Hyman Munguia even stopped him earlier than Golovkin did. He stopped Szeremeta in the 6th round, guys. In the 6th round, and that was at middleweight, to tell you the truth. Yeah. Of course, Hammer Mingia now at 168, but he fought Szeremeta at middleweight. It wasn't too long ago even that Chris Eubank's name was mentioned in the was mentioned in relation to Saul Canelo Alvarez. So he was set to face fighters like Saul Canelo Alvarez next, and again Conor Benn. Yeah, Conor Benn. And even though Conor Benn fights in a much smaller weight class at 147, so that's the kind of skill level that he was looking to match himself up against. So Szeremeta is a huge step down. He's not taking him forward anywhere at all, my guys. He's never had a title fight either. So yeah, never had a title fight. So what does he want to do with his career? Is he just a money spinner? Is that all he wants to be known for? If that's all he wants to be known for, then great, let him carry on doing how he's doing now. But I expect him to win easily. Easily, guys, whether by KO or unanimous decision, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna go for the KO, and I'm going to say he will KO Szeremeta in 8 rounds. 8 rounds. Yeah, 8 rounds. KO for Eubank. And then we have Frazer Clarke versus Fabio Wardley. Clarke, 33 years old. Despite his age, only 8 fights, 6 by KO, so he does carry power. And he's had 0 losses and 1 draw. On the other side, we've got Fabio Wardley, who's had 17 fights. Out of those 17 fights, 16 KO. So again, we see a display of power on the record. And he's had 0 losses, also 1 draw. He's age 29 years old, so 4 years younger than Frazer Clarke, obviously. But they fought before in at the O2 Stadium, and that was a barn burner, guys. That was a barn burner. Whoever paid to go and watch that fight, I'm sure got their money's worth, and I don't doubt this will be the same again. In that first fight, Fabio Wardley, he had the early rounds and he was doing very well, even dropped Frazer Clarke, and I was thinking to myself he would go on to win, but he kind of started fading towards the end of the fight. But if he's done his homework and has been working hard in camp, I'm sure he would find a way to fix those mistakes where he made him fade towards the later rounds. But if he has got that in check, I believe he wins. He beats Frazer Clarke, possibly via unanimous decision, or I would say maybe a 7th round KO. I'll say 7th round KO, guys, for Fabio Wardley. And then let's move on, guys. We got Jai Opetaia, very huge talent in the cruiserweight division, and this, my people, is for the IBF cruiserweight title, my guys, and it's going against Jack Massey. Jai Opetaia is 29 years old, has 25 fights, is undefeated, and has no draws, guys. Out of his 25 fights, 19 of those fights coming via KO. He was actually set to face Chris Billiam Smith, an offer that Billiam Smith didn't take up that fight. But Billiam Smith, I believe before the end of this year, in November or sometime, he will be facing Gilberto Ramirez, and Billiam Smith in that fight will be having his WBO title on the line, the title that he grabbed. It was either out of him and Riyadh, to get that title, and it was Billiam Smith that came on top, the winner. And so yeah, Jack Massey though, we have Jack Massey. He's 31 years old, 22 fights, 2 losses, 12 of those 22 fights. He had 22 wins, 2 losses, 0 draws. Out of his 22 wins, 12 of them coming via KO. His most impressive win, I would say, was versus Isaac Chamberlain, and he won that via a unanimous decision, guys. He's only had 3 12-round fights. Amazingly, you know, he's only had 3 12-round fights. We have Jai Opetaia here. His last win was very impressive, guys. His last win was very impressive when he beat Marius Bradis. He beat him by a very wide unanimous decision. Very great display of boxing and power, ring IQ. I mean, this kid has just got it all, to tell you the truth. And then we got he did actually fight Marius Bradis previously before as well though. And that was a much closer fight, a much closer affair. But the second time round, he had improved a lot more. And you know, you could have got Marius Bradis out of there, to tell you the truth. It could have. Had it been the 15 round days, Marius Bradis is checking out of there. So this fight, I just feel Jack Massey is no match. You know, Jack Massey has never faced a world level fighter. Jai Opetaia in his 25 fights has. And he is the younger man as well at age 29. But Jack Massey, he is no match for Jai Opetaia. I'm sorry. This is just something to keep Opetaia busy, and of course just keep his run of winning and stacking up. But I got Opetaia stopping Jack Massey. I would say 8 rounds, guys. 8 rounds. Round 8, Jack Massey's out of there. Round 8, 9 maximum. Jack Massey's out of there. Bye. Gone. And on this card, we've got 2 females going against each other. Sky Nicholson versus Raven Chapman. And this is a WBC featherweight fight. Sky Nicholson, the champion, defending a WBC world title versus Raven Chapman, my guy. So the champion here is Sky Nicholson with a WBC title at featherweight, defending against Raven Chapman. I hope I said that clearly enough, my people. And yeah, that's all I've got on this fight card. But the fights I'm really looking forward to on this card, obviously Dimitri Bivol and Beterbiev, of course. Kamil, Szeremeta and Eubank, that's a very disappointing matchup there. I suppose is there on this Riyadh season fight card because of the exposure that Eubank can bring. He's got a very good fan base, so he is a money spinner. Frazer, Clarke, I would take that any time of the year, any day of the week, anytime, any place. Give me that fight. That's a barn burner there. And I hope this second fight they're going to have lives up to my expectations, and I believe most people are expecting it to be as action-packed as the first one. Jai Opetaia, Jack Massey, I'm looking forward to that. But I think it's an easy fight for Opetaia. I'm only looking forward to it just to of course see the skill and ability of Opetaia on display. My people, Liam Cameron versus Whittaker, that's an easy fight for Whittaker. Not even any worth talking about that. But yeah, still Whittaker is a prospect, so yeah, I'm looking forward there for him to display his skills and ability. Also, very much like Jai Opetaia, my people. So with that said, that's all I got for you on this session of Boxing Talk. Catch me next time on Body and Mind Sports. And of course, before you leave, do like, share, subscribe, and drop your comments below. And with that said, my people, stay super blessed as always.